Hello folks, there's something weird going on. The sky is blue, the air is warm, and the pavements are dry. Yep. Welcome to Walkie Talkie folks. I want to talk to you about these on-demand delivery options, also known as Just Eat, Deliveroo, Hungry Panda, Unknown, and Just Eat. I think I've covered it. If I haven't, fuck it. They're basically instant on-demand delivery options. Three guys on a bike with only their eyes shown. Why is that? You know, if you're completely legitimate, you'd have your face shown, in my opinion. But anyway, if they're not riding up pavements at 25 miles an hour, nearly knocking down Mrs. McPherson, they are going through red lights, right? Red light comes on for them, green man comes on for you. You are legally entitled to cross the road, right? And you nearly get knocked down because they've stuck to the fingers at the red light and fire through, nearly knocking you down. Is this a rarity? No. Is this a non-matter to the police? No. We'll come back to that in a minute. But these people have absolutely no fucking respect for their surroundings. They just bash on through. And part of the problem with these on-demand delivery options, whether they're working for McDonald's, whether they're working for some other fast food chain, whether they're working for the group of supermarkets, or whether they're doing snappy shop for a corner shop, it's completely irrelevant. They have absolutely idiotic SLAs to adhere to, and SLAs are service level agreements. So it says on, let's say, Snappy Shopper, get your shopping within 20 minutes of order. That's unrealistic. It's ridiculous. It's an utter joke, and this is the only point where I feel sorry for these Deliveroo and other pricks, and that's the only way I can call them, because they're putting people like that in grave danger just to satisfy a time quotient. I think it's absolutely wrong, right? And the worst thing is, these guys, they're self-employed. They don't have things like, annual leave or sickness policy or, maximum upper and lower limits of hours they can work a week. It's absolutely ridiculous. And maybe some of them are actually sleep deprived, but I've seen a few of them with eyes bigger than a pair of tits, indicating that they could be on some kind of stimulant, and that's absolutely wrong. If the taxi just to my left here has very stringent rules to adhere to, like not taking drugs to achieve the job and not taking drugs in general, then it should be right across the board. One rule for all, or no rule for nobody. This two-tier country with two-tier weird Starmer is sickening. And on a side note, Keir Starmer has in the recent hours said he's not for moving. He's quoting Maggie Thatcher. Was Maggie Thatcher worse than Keir Starmer? Not as much. I think, to be honest, and people have said who lived through the Maggie Thatcher period, Maggie Thatcher was less trouble than Keir Starmer. And I'm starting to agree, especially in free speech. Free speech and traditional British values. But anyway, that's the end of that rant. But back to the main one. What? Anyway, so these Deliveroo's been these, what? Anyway, they can work as many hours as the day provides, or as little as the day provides, and I think that's wrong. I mean, in what you call paid salarised jobs, you get the what you call the life to work ratio, right? But in this type of job, there's nothing. You don't even have a manager. You don't even have, a payroll to contact if you're having any issues. You've just got an app, and the app is meant to do everything. I'm sorry, but no fucking app replaces managers, payroll, or unionisation, which again Deliveroo and all the other bastards don't actually have entitled connection to. It's just an absolute mess. When lockdown happened in 2022, Deliveroo had full reign of the road and the pavement. Drive whatever speed you need to. Get the customers their stuff as quickly as humanly possible, even if it does start injuring and hurting people more than the actual COVID virus itself. And the thing is, like, the actual origin date for these bikes seems to correlate around 2013. And they're not going anywhere soon. I've actually talked to an MP about these Deliveroos and others, right? And she was actually quite good. She actually she contacted non-emergency Police Scotland, and she got a right good response. Actually, I'm going to say she got see that bike there. Just to kind of quickly interject a second, that bike there is one of the Glasgow Voy bikes, and to do on-demand delivery services, you cannot use a commercial bike. That's a commercial bike because, like, a certain point nearby here, you've got a collection point for these bikes, and these bikes are known as commercial bikes. They're not, it's actually not allowed to do delivery work or whatever, Just Eat, whatever, on a commercial bike. It's actually, you can actually lose your delivery account for it, and also it is under Scots law illegal. But anyway, yeah, these Deliveroo and other brands, they came to Glasgow in 2013, and it seemed to be across all of Scotland, 2013, with the exception of a Galway Butte council areas, including Oban. They do not allow these to be circulating, which is quite good. Whether that changes in the near future, I don't quite know. I hope it doesn't. But yeah, 2013, and the contracts have become more and more lazy and self-serving, up to the point where corner shops have took up this snappy shopper model, and you can get your shopping within 20 minutes of placing the order. I would have said it being more healthy. Get clothed, get your keys, walk into the corner shop, say hi to the guy in the tills, get your stuff and back up the road, and that's under 20 minutes. That was based on an experience I had only a couple of days ago. The whole begin, middle and end was 18 minutes, and I had all my stuff. I mean, the thing is, you're putting a lot of faith into someone you don't actually know to deliver your food safely without knocking down Mrs. McPherson, and also you're putting another layer of faith into someone you don't know and you'll probably never meet again, and getting your stuff to your door safe without damage or leakage or getting it all wrong altogether. It's just too much giving faith to people you don't know that gets up my goat. But the thing that really gets up my goat is, as I said, the way they drive is absolutely fucking shocking. Every week there are approximately 100 people that attend A&E departments across Scotland because they've either been clipped or knocked down or otherwise injured. And to be honest, I think it's time to call in on that one. But, you know, although I'm moaning, you could say, right, these delivery options are not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So, you know, as I was saying, the MP had wrote to Police Scotland and they replied back quite a decent response, might I say. Actually, it was not bad at all. They said to Patricia, we know of the issue and we're trying to get to as many as possible. There's just that many bikes. We don't have enough time to get it all dealt with, but they are dealing with it. And that's the way it should be. I mean, if John Bloggs in his Ford Mustang could get a fine for doing 33 in a 30 zone, it should be the equal exact same, you know, cup of quality and everything, where Dingy Diver in his delivery thing gets fined and maybe a bike taken off. I mean, I know for something recently, right, there's been a lot of deliveries having their bikes taken off because the bikes have what you call a trigger rather than workable pedals to get them moving, right? But it doesn't directly hurt them, might I say, because a lot of these bikes come from the Tradeston delivery depot, just an inch or two out of town. So if anything, it's hurting the company, not the person. And to be honest, the person that's on title for the bike should actually have the crime put on him for running up curves and going through red lights and everything else. Now, interestingly enough, and I'm just going to say maybe before I wrap things up, it's not the first time that I have caught Deliveroo and other knockoff brands delivering drugs to people in the West End. And as you know, I do bits of work in the West End, right, and I have caught at least 5 times somebody getting drugs from a delivery bike, and it's not even like it's subtle or anything. It's not like a pure handshake manoeuvre, you know, we all came to know and love, right? It's pure fucking obvious. 2 was weed, and I think the other could have been speed, right? And that is very, very worrying, because what if there's children about and the bag drops and the kid picks it up thinking it's sweets and it's fucking maybe 2g a weed? It's wrong and it's irresponsible. And as much as I would love these things to come off the road, right, another MP said in an email to me, oh, why would you be moaning about these on-demand delivery options when they take cars off the road and contribute to this net zero? You know, and unfortunately, you know, you can't get a proper response out of that stuff. Just leave it aside, kind of thing. And another one, Alison Thelwis, I spoke to on email. Unfortunately, I had contacted her during the transition between Glasgow and London. You know, she was going to represent a constituency in London, so I never got any response. But clearly the MPs, from what I explained, right? Clearly the MPs are either, net zero tastic, or the other one, Patricia, she's clearly had to deal with the issue before, and she was more than happy to have a conversation with Police Scotland, and absolutely fair dues, because it's not quite a kind of house type issue, and it's not quite it was more a community issue, I'd say, actually. But she was more than willing to actually, take the inquiry and, look at it. So absolutely fair dues. Absolutely fair dues. But yeah, we had a bit of a situation where a delivery nearly knocked my mum, not tongue-tie, stress, right? Delivery nearly knocked my mum down just about 2 hours ago, so if I'm a bit tongue-tied, please forgive. That's all I can say. But honestly, it's stressful, because obviously, because I work at the West End, they can fire from every angle going. And it's like trying to figure out where's safe, because a pedestrian crossing should be P for pedestrian, P for pavement, P for person, and that should be always synced. But with delivery, it's kind of right. And if you wanna look into this delivery rider forum, right, there's clearly something a bit kind of less than legal going on, because when it comes to talking about tax, Mino tax, you can imagine what that is, right? Mino insurance, where you've got to have insurance even on a push bike to do delivery through. It's called food carrier insurance. That's a nice noise, whatever it is. And like looking at the delivery form, there's all stenches of fucking lawlessness going on. And if that was, any other industry or any other type person, let's be honest, people would be up on all sorts of charges. But because what they do and what they provide, they can get away with it. On the net zero thing, I think it's absolute fucking shite. Absolute nonsense, to be honest. Once you sign the contract with delivery, you should be made responsible for your actions, and if you come short of actions or a contract, you should automatically be met with a manager, but that doesn't quite happen these days, eh? But anyway, if you're thinking about getting something to eat tonight, just consider it might be healthier actually just grabbing a set of keys, walking down to the restaurant, get something to eat, get up the road and enjoy your meal even more with that bit of energy burnt getting to and from, rather than inviting a random person to come up to your door with food. Someone you've never met before, probably you'll never met again. That's the only thing I can suggest. Just if you ever want to try ordering delivery, just ask yourself the question: how is my food coming here? Is it going to be involved in road lawlessness? Is it going to be the right thing put in the bag? Is it going to be a person that I want to actually have interaction with? And if them questions lead up to no, and any other questions you've got in your mind to say to no, don't bother. Apparently there's the brand called Gig Economy linked to this. But anywho, right, I'm going to head off now. I'm going to get a wee drink from my work, and until the next time.